A guy we never see. A guy we never see on the show anymore. I see he's got.
I don't know that name at all.
Oh no, you don't. Well, I do. He's been a member and a viewer of the show for a long time. We never see him. Sarah Grace Lee shows up, and then all of a sudden,
Purdy lady come in.
Yeah. I don't know. Oh yeah, you better be laughing. You better be laughing. Yeah.
Welcome,
everyone. Well, I figured you might draw us a few new viewers today, and this is a tough time to do a podcast for large numbers because it's in the middle of people's workday and everything, and people are. If I go on 10 minutes early, people freak out. Like the other night, I went on at 8:55 p.m. Well, King, you normally go on at 9:05. Yeah, but we try to fool stupid people and make them think we're on an hour earlier. So we go 8:55 instead of 9. Do you know who Jiminy Glick is, Sarah?
Not really.
Do you know who Martin Short is?
Yes.
Okay, well, Martin Short plays a character called Jiminy Glick, and he plays this overweight. Go figure why I would like him. This overweight, fat, obnoxious, nothing happening, nothing ever accomplished interviewer of celebrities. And I'm going to encourage you to go watch some Jiminy Glick clips. Think of some of your favorite celebrities. Maybe if you like a Jerry Seinfeld or somebody like that, or maybe some Saturday Night Live characters. He interviewed Bill Hader recently, and he's the co-host all week long, not far from where you live. Jimmy Kimmel, he's from Hollywood, California, right? Isn't that where it's from?
Yep. They all work here in the studios, I'm sure.
Have you ever been to the Jimmy Kimmel studios? Have you ever been?
No, not really. I don't know if I've been.
I'm wondering because they're kind of right there where you are. I was wondering if you'd ever made it down to the studios.
I've been to a couple studios, but they have almost some warehouses or buildings. Every show is in a different studio, so you never really know what's going on inside of them.
And they actually do look like warehouses, don't they? They don't look. When you hear Hollywood and television studio, you have something else pictured in your mind as to what you actually see when you get there. And
it's all smokes and mirrors.
It's smoke and mirrors.
Like a big floral place, like with all the greenhouses and all that.
Yeah. So Jimmy Kimmel is on vacation now till Labor Day, and he has celebrity host on every show. And we hadn't seen Jiminy Glick in quite some time. And Bill Maher, who films his show out in California on HBO, he just recently wrote a book, and he wanted Jiminy Glick to interview him to talk about his book. So Jiminy Glick kind of came out of retirement, and now he's hosting. Martin Short is rather, who is the alter ego of Jiminy Glick. Martin Short's the real character, and then he plays this guy called Jiminy Glick, Glick. I encourage you to look him up. If you like comedy, and you said you just did a horror comedy show, you have to see this. He is something else.
I will put it on my list of things to watch.
But the bad thing is when I watch him, I want to evolve into Jiminy Glick when I talk to people. So tell me, Sarah Grace Lee, they call you. Obviously, because if they call you Sarah Lee, we'd have to talk about pancakes. And he does that shit. And, so you're Sarah Grace Lee, and is that why you use the middle name? Because if we called you Sarah Lee, we might think about the people that make pancakes.
Yeah, you might confuse me with the bread girl.
Yeah. So, we're not.
Well, on stage, I remember I used to be a ballerina, right, professionally, and
that's
sometimes as a joke that would be the name.
The first pictures I ever saw of you were your ballerina pictures, and might I say, people, the flexibility of this young lady is unbelievable. You did poses that I didn't think could possibly be done. And the two things I noticed about you, number one, I've always loved Asian people. I've loved the Filipino community since I met my first one, I guess 14, 15 years ago. And she lived a pretty good life. Her name was Lena. She's from Manila, lived in Batangas. You probably know where Batangas is.
Yes.
And she lived what we would consider a normal life: air conditioning, furniture, refrigeration, televisions, nice kitchen appliances. Lived like what we think most Americans live. And then so for